The fact that Jesus has defeated suffering doesn't mean that we get to enjoy the fullness of that victory yet. So Jesus has defeated suffering in a cosmic sense. We know that ultimately suffering will be no more, but we are still kind of in this place now, in this world, in this life, where there are still two realities. One reality is that we are broken and we are imperfect. And the second reality is that the world around us is broken and it's imperfect. Because of those two truths, there is still going to be suffering. And the Bible promises that again and again and again. It says that there is going to be suffering that we have to grapple with and struggle with and try and make sense of and ultimately deal with. But it also promises that we know the ending. The ending of the movie is a good ending. It's a happy ending. So we are kind of walking in victory, but we're still walking through the brokenness of who we are and the world around us. That's how we need to reconcile this. It's almost as if, it's a very broken metaphor, but to say someone gives you a gift of $100 million and it's in your bank account and the gift is there and you know it's there and you know ultimately it's going to culminate in things that you can do and joy and the realization and the actualization of the experience of that gift. But you still don't fully get to benefit from all of that in its fullness until you go to the bank and get the money out, until you actually get access to the funds. Now, the beauty of it is we have a deposit. We have a sense of that freedom and a sense of that joy and a sense of that comfort and strength in the midst of the suffering now. But we get it realized in all of its fullness on the other side of this life. And that's why Psalm 23, amongst many other Psalms, is so helpful in this respect. It says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. So it's promising suffering. It's saying we're going to have to walk through the valley of the shadow of death. We're broken, the world is broken, but it's just the shadow of death. The suffering in this world is real, but in the context of eternity, it's just a shadow. Now, if you're anything like me or anyone else, you'd much rather be hit by the shadow of a truck than hit by an actual truck. So the suffering is still real. It's still dark in this world, but ultimately it doesn't have any eternal power, any eternal impact, or ultimately any eternal experiential significance for us, because we are invited into relationship with the one that defeated all of that suffering. So it's still real, it's still here, but God has defeated it. And one day we get to claim that victory in its fullness. The invitation we have in this life is to claim that victory in everything we can claim it to be right now. And that happens through a relationship with God.